Yo, yo. Hey, what? Hey, God bless him. I am truly sorry that this guy is being tortured, man. Cat Williams did a nice clip on his stand up routine about Joe Biden. And he's right. Joe Biden's not to blame. We're to blame. I mean, y'all need to get a heart, man. I mean, I don't like the guy, and I think he's just pushing globalist agenda policies to destroy this country. But even with me disliking the man and disliking his policies and disliking where this country is headed right now, I have a heart, man. That I can't see that, bro. That's like we're showing the whole world that America is falling. That was symbolic. If there was any symbology in that incident, it was that here's the United States of America, the world leader, falling off his bicycle in front of the whole world to see. Y'all better wake up, people, because I mean, why film something like this? Why put it out there for the world to see? If not to give a clear indication that that's to let the world know that America has fallen. I don't know what other message that sends to the world. America has fallen. But for those of us who still have hope and still see greatness in this country and still see that we could still, change the narrative on this and get ourselves back on the right path as a country, as a nation, as a people, I think we're optimistic that midterms are coming up. I mean, everyone I talk to on the streets, everywhere I go, it's the same unanimous cheer of, yeah, FJB. You know what I mean? So it's sad. I mean, I think, call me conspiracy theorist, but I think this clip was filmed on purpose because this clip was put out. Think about this for a second. Think about the psychological impact something like this has around the world and the way people perceive the United States now. All the media about recession and collapse in the stock market and all this stuff. They're orchestrating the psychology of the world and Americans to feel like that this is it. This is the pinnacle of our society. We're done. America has fallen. Joe Biden didn't fall off that bicycle. America has fallen off that bicycle. That's the psychological impact of something like that. This is a psyop. We are living in a psyop, people. Psychological warfare. You got to get that through your head. Just because you're going to work every day and struggling to pay your bills doesn't mean that we're not under attack. We're under attack constantly from opposing forces around the globe. People who just are angry of the American way of life, maybe, or upset because, we don't go without sin, right? Every country has their ugly side. I'm not naive to that fact. What I'm saying to you is that the Constitution or the Republic, as we know it, has been subverted, no longer exists. So it exists only in the hearts and minds of those who remain like myself. We're the last remaining few. We're the last of the Mohicans. And I can say that because, that's an American tribe. Anything that happened on this soil is my American birthright. All the history, all the bloodshed, all the struggles and strifes and tribulations we went through as a nation, that's in my history, my DNA. Not just in the US, in Trinidad and Tobago, in Venezuela, where my mom's from. So I carry the bloodshed and the sins of the world on my history, on my shoulders. And so I could take a moment of gratitude and step back and say, I am a child of the world. I am here because of all that bloodshed, because of all the strife and tribulations of our ancestors. All the slavery, all the colonialism, everything, all of it. I embrace and accept it all. I don't deny that it happened. I don't deny atrocities happen. But if I'm going to be a better human being and a better person in this point in history, I have to recognize that I was that. I was all of that. I was all the bad, I was all the good that culminated to make me be here in front of this camera talking to you. So you got to understand that fact, right? That we cannot, as a nation, as a beautiful country, be in denial, be in shame of what we went through, because we look at where we've gotten to now. Look at where we are now, baby. Look at where we are now. The ability to have free speech, the ability to express an opinion, the ability to debate, hash it out, argue, to come up with something in the middle, to figure shit out, right? Not too many countries around the world have that benefit. Y'all need to get a passport and travel when you complain about this place, man. You really do. You really need to get out there and see what the rest of the world has to endure. And we're not saints, because we're consumers also. So we need to become more conscious. I could get behind being more conscious as a nation, being more conscious of the fact that when we buy an iPhone, that, you know, it is produced in an ethical way, or being more conscious in the sense that we're trying to cut back on carbon footprint and do the best we can to make sure we have a cleaner, healthier, happy earth. I can get on board with all that stuff, baby. I'm there. I support it. I got solar panels on my roof, right? I want to buy an electric car, but you don't have to penalize the poor people to do so. That's what's happening right now. We are being sacked. We're being sacked by the leaders that we claim that we voted for. And we, the people, feel helpless. We feel powerless. We feel like we can't do anything. But guess what? The power is with us united. Whether you're on the left, whether you're on the right, regardless of your thing, if you believe in that American flag and what it stands for, we're fighting the wrong people. We should not be fighting each other. I may disagree with you on economic policy because maybe I lean Republican with economic policy. Maybe you lean more, liberal with spending. So what? We'll hash it out at the polls every 4 years. But as a nation, we need to become secure in each other, right? We need to realize that we have to protect our Constitution. It is the blueprint for where we are today as a society. It is the default that protects our nation so that we can hash things out. We can argue all we want. But at the end of the day, we have to match it up against this document. Does it stand up to the scrutiny? Does it hold up? If not, where do we make changes? What do we fight for? That's our business. We don't need other countries in our business. That's our business. And if you live in your country has your own shit to deal with. So you focus on that. See, that's what was meant when Trump said, "Make America great again." Y'all need to go back and listen to his UN speech. And I remember before I went down the road of getting into Trump and all this stuff, I actually was a nobody. I didn't think about, I didn't have any political leanings or affiliations because I didn't want to get involved with politics. But I knew I had to get involved when I started going to events, when I started getting curious and going on the streets and going to Boogaloo Boy events and Proud Boy events and meeting people at Trump rallies, talking to them, getting to know them, figuring out why they did what they did, watching how the media would cut certain clips of him speaking at rallies and put it out of context, and no one would take the time to really get to know what's going on. Actually looking at the policies that were being passed and executive orders that were being written while he was in office, and watching him from the sidelines going, "Oh, interesting. This guy's actually doing what he said he wanted to do." See, he changed politics forever. Hate him all you want. What he did was raise the bar. Everybody keeps saying he lowered the bar, but he didn't. He did what any American or warm-blooded American would want to do. Run this country like a business, because that's what it is. And we need the left, because the left provides emotion, empathy, right? Creativity, talent. And we need the right because they provide a conservative holding on to the blueprint of what our nation is, so that so that creativity could flourish, but at the same time have discipline, focus on military, focus on spending, focus on the structure of our society, focus on making the market free enough for us to innovate, develop, grow. We have a weakness because we allow other countries to come here and invest it with us and build businesses here and dump their money here into our assets. But that also opens up a whole other arena for them messing with our economy. So, and that's our fault, because we haven't been strict with these other countries the way they have been strict with us. Trump was the first guy to show up and bring reciprocity in the economic game, right? Because before he came, what was going on was that there's this convoluted dilution of the global markets going on. Economic warfare, so to speak. We're all guilty of it. So this is why Trump got everybody excited, man. He made politics a TV reality show. He knew what he was doing. Putting all those tweets out every day. Before Trump, how many of you really paid attention to politics? How many of you actually had an interest in politics? Nobody, right? You just voted every 4 years and you didn't give a shit. You heard some shit on CNN. You went about your day. But this guy, hate him or love him, showed up and started bringing all the buzz, all the attention back to politics. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to engage your populace, engage your population. Whether they hate you or love you, you get them involved somehow. That was his Twitter rants. And all these people want to talk about January 6th and all this stuff. Nothing different happened there than what's been going on in this country under all administrations. All the riots, all the burning and looting of cities, neighborhoods, all the burning of police stations in Minnesota. You guys short-term memory, right? There was an incident that took place inside the Capitol on January 6th. That internal issue, whoever was involved in that little debacle, let that work itself out in the committees and the courtrooms. As far as everybody else who was in and around the building, who did not do anything wrong, who were just there for a protest or to express their point of view, which they have a God-given right, especially because we pay taxes and that is a public building, there was no insurrection. The violence came from the officers inside. There's evidence and videos showing you people walking in freely and walking out, police allowing certain groups of people in through a back door and stopping them and coaching them forward and then stopping them, and then there's a guy with a camera there. Listen, we have journalists who were there on the ground, who have been interviewed, who are involved in court cases right now, testifying and telling you what they saw when they were in that building. The entire thing looks like it was orchestrated and planned. This is people who were there, and they're not getting media coverage. Why? Because they need to push a narrative. Orange man bad. And they are failing hard. They are actually fueling their opposition and giving them more support. So strategically speaking, if you're a Democrat and you're hearing this, your party is losing big time pushing this January 6th narrative. Because while you're throwing that on TV and trying to rally the base around some kind of a doubt of whatever around this orange guy, they're going all over the country rallying their base under economic policy, under the promise that we're going to try to bring things down and equalize our economy and reduce the national debt and lower taxes to the middle class and all this other stuff that people want to hear, right? That's why all these Republican voters are fired up on midterms coming here. Your media is doing a huge disservice to you. They're not reporting to you what's really happening, what's really going on the ground, right? You all are listening to your news media sound bites and they're lying to you. The ground is excited and pumped up to crush the Democrats on midterms 2022 and 2024, because it's going to keep going. So ask yourself this: why would your party purposely do things in such a bad way. Brings me back to this video over here with Joe Biden. Why would look at this? Look at this. This is worldwide. This video is worldwide right now. Right? This video is worldwide right now. Like wildfire. Psychological warfare. We had just told our enemies, foreign and domestic, that America has fallen. That's what that did. And watch this other thing. Watch how fast. Watch how fast that when Republicans start winning candidacy and start winning local elections and things starts to go down, the Democrat Party is going to pivot and start pushing election fraud. Watch. Mark my words. The very same people who have been rallying the base around, ooh, Republicans are conspiracy theorists. Republicans are QAnon. Republicans are all trying to claim that there's election fraud when we all know that elections is safe and protected in the United States and blah, 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 and the Republicans. But watch this. Watch this, folks. They're going to pivot 180. I could be wrong. But they're now, as soon as Republicans start wiping the floor with them, they're going to start pushing the whole agenda of election fraud. It's going to flip. Because right now, I'm telling you, because of the scare that all these voters have about the election fraud, 2,000 mules, you name it. When we go to the polls now, we're watching everything. Voters are walking in the poll station, asking questions. When I went to vote for this last midterm, I remember when we got there, the bumpers were filled in the parking lot with FJB stickers. And when we went inside, people were saying, I used to be a Dem, but now I'm a rep. You know, and taking the rep ballots. I saw it with my own eyes, guys. And they were asking questions like, is this the right ballot? What's on the ballot? They look at it back and front. They filled it out. They asked to see if the registry shows that they voted already. Because when I went to vote the last election, I remember being told that I already voted when I didn't. See, this is what this is what the news is not reporting. There's hundreds of thousands of people in these United States, and you can find them on TikTok, you can find them on Instagram, you can find them anywhere on social media, on Reddit, you name it, of groups of people reporting that when they went to poll stations, that they were shown as already being voted for Democrat. And a lot of times they were either independent or they were undecided. And when they showed up, they were taken back. Like myself, I went to vote for Trump. And when I got there, they said, oh, I'm already registered as a Democrat, blah, 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 blah. Some nonsense. And I said, no, I never voted. It created a big issue. They had to reboot the computer system. It was a whole deal. Listen, guys, we the people, we're on the ground. We're the ones who see shit. The media is just bullshit right now. So I'm just telling you guys got to realize that this time around is going to be different. People are going to be paying attention. People are going to go to the polls and be very vigilant about stuff. People are going to be listening to each other. I think we might have a fair shot. I'm optimistic that we have a fair shot. Unfortunately, Democrats, even though I used to label myself a liberal Democrat or a socialist Democrat, I unfortunately had to jump ship because I don't like what your so-called tribe is pushing. I don't like that you're pushing globalist agendas. I don't like you're pushing the collapse of the United States so that you could be absorbed into the UN. I don't like that you push policies that take away personal sovereignty from the citizens of a country, and you get to tell them what they could say or can't say, and you get to take away their guns, which is their only form of self-defense and protection in a country full of 480 million guns and counting, right? You're pushing policies to send money overseas to help other countries in their conflicts. When people at home need stimulus checks, people at home need the ability to get a proper education, go back out to work, proper medical care, proper education, because the educational system is crap and you're teaching children all this nonsense about transgender and all this crap, which is irrelevant to a child's development, but yet you want to talk about changing the age for gun control. You make no sense to me. So everything you're doing on the left makes no logical sense. You're not even left anymore. You're communist. You're flat out Marxist tactics, destroying culture, destroying the dissolution of your nation's principles or morals or whatever the case is by injecting all this corrupted behavior and nonsense so that you can replace it with your global agenda. I'm not stupid. We've seen this time and time again in Venezuela, Cuba, Russia, China. These tactics, culture wars have been used all over the world, and it's not the first time. Anybody who can get online and read a book or read a story or do some Google searching on videos, you'll find all this stuff. So all I'm saying to you people is that your strategy has got to change. If you want to go up against the Republicans, you better look at why they're popular. And stop trying to think you could divide us with all this bullshit, racism, CRT, nonsense, bullshit, that defund the police, all this crap. People don't want to hear that bullshit. People want meat and potatoes. People want policy that's going to affect their wallets. People want to know how they're going to pay their mortgage, their rent, how they're going to get their education, how they're going to get their school, their health care, all these other things, right? How they're going to get out of debt, because a lot of people are in mountainous debt right now. But you're sending money to Ukraine and Pakistan and all over the world. For what? You're not fooling the American people anymore. We see right through that bullshit. Anyway, enough of my ranting. Joe, I hope you're doing okay. I mean, you're not very liked right now, but that's besides the point. You're still a human being and you fell off that bicycle, and go be with your family, Joe. Go be with your family. Your corrupt family, but hey, which family isn't, right? We all have family stories. I know I got a lot of corruption and stories in my family history too. But you see, I embrace all of that. I just take it head on. I don't shy away from stuff, man. I fall into conversations and conflict head on because that's how we grow, that's how we evolve, that's how we develop, that's how we become resilient. So in that spirit, I wish all of you the best. Thank you for watching. And take care, folks. I hope you enjoyed my show. Stay tuned. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You disagree with anything, please put it in the comments below. And we'll have a debate. I am looking to see if I could start doing interview episodes, which I'll probably call that segment something else. And I have another channel, Cryptic Hodler, where I will be doing more of an entrepreneurial type of interview style session. So I'll see if you're interested. Go ahead and hit me up, and we'll try to get something arranged where we can do a conversation. I'll write out the questions, and we'll do a pre-record if you want, and I'll run it by you first before posting. And I look forward to working with you guys. Thank you very much for listening on my rant, and hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Thank you.